Hello and welcome to the farm and welcome to my 1902 farmhouse. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely 100% cotton face cloth and turn it from this to this lovely Mother's Day gift. So let's discuss the materials for this project today. I'm using I Love This cotton yarn. I get this at Hobby Lobby, and today we're going to make our rows in pink. We're going to be using our size H crochet hook. We're going to need a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, some green tulle. I got this at a thrift store. You can get this anywhere where you can get your fabric. This is a little bit coarse. You can get it finer if you like, but I cut about a 3-inch section off of the measurement that I get off of the bolt. You can just get the smallest amount that you need for whatever project you're doing. You don't have to get an entire yard. And then also I got this really pretty little china cup at a local thrift store, and this is what we'll be placing our project in today. So let's get started. I do want to make sure that I give proper credit where proper credit is due. This is a free pattern from Yarnspirations. You can find that online, and you can also find a tutorial on YouTube with Mikey. To get started, we're going to go ahead and start with a slip knot. Placing that onto our hook, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch into the very first chain to form a ring. And we're ready to move on to round 1. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Now I will tell you that in the original pattern it says to chain 3. I like to chain 2 so this doesn't become so loose when we join our round. In the ring right here, you can see how the hook goes right into this little ring that we formed earlier. Don't go into the stitch where you joined. Make sure you go into the ring. We're going to complete 9 double crochet. So into the ring, here's double crochet number 1, and after I get a few of them in here, you'll see how you can really tell that you're in the ring. Here's 2, 3. Here's our last double crochet. That makes 10. Our chain 2, we added 9. We're going to go right here to the top of our chain 2 and slip stitch into the top of that stitch to close round 1. We're going to chain 2. Again, this counts as our first double crochet. And we're going to double crochet in the same stitch where we joined right here. This is an increase round, so we're going to have 2 double crochet in each stitch around. So going to the next stitch, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. To the next stitch, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. And we're going to continue placing 2 double crochet in each stitch around for a total of 20, counting this chain up 2 as our first one. I'll meet up with you there when we're ready to join and close round 2. 19, and here's 20 in that very last stitch. Going right here to our first chain 2 and closing this round with a slip stitch. We're going to slip stitch between these first 2 double crochet here, this first increase. So going in between these stitches, just grab your yarn, pull it through, and complete a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to double crochet in that same space right there in between those 2 double crochet. So we have a grouping of 2 double crochet. Our chain 2 counts as the first one. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to locate the next set of 2 double crochet from the prior round. We're going to work in between those 2. So in between, place 2 double crochet. Here's 1 and 2. Chain 1. Locate the next set of 2 stitches from the prior round and work in between them. Or if you like, you can just skip 2 double crochet. So skip this one, work a double crochet in between that and the next. So here's 1 and 2. chain 1, skip 1, skip 2, place our 2 double crochet in between the next. 1, 2, chain 1, skip 1, skip 2, place 2 double crochet in between the next. You're not working in stitches, you're working in between the stitches from the prior round. Wherever you had an increase with 2 double crochet into 1 stitch, you're working in between those 2 stitches. So there's a chain 1, and we're going to work 2 double crochet here. Here's 1 and 2. I'm going to continue this the rest of the way around. I'll meet up with you when I'm ready to join round 3. I've just completed my last double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to join to the top of the chain 2 that we started the round with to close round 3. We're going to slip stitch over here in this first chain 1 space. This brings our yarn over so that we can work in this space. And we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, place a double crochet in that same chain space. So we have a grouping of 2 double crochet because our chain 2 counts as the first one. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to place 2 double crochet right back in that same space. Here's 1, and here's 2. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to go over to the next chain 1 space from the prior round. And here we're going to place 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet, all in that same chain 1 space. Chain 1, go to the next chain 1 space from the prior round and repeat that again. 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to the next chain 1 space. You're going to continue this all the way around for round 4. Chain 1 in between, and then in your chain 1 space from the prior row is going to be 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. I'm going to work my way around and complete round 4, and I'll meet up with you when I'm ready to join. I'm just now finishing up the last little portion here of our round. Here are our last 2 double crochet into our final chain 1 space. Don't forget to chain 1 before you join. You're going to go here to your first grouping that you made, go to the very top of that chain 2, and close that round with a slip stitch. We're just going to slip stitch right over here to this first chain 1 space, and we'll be working from here now. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to place 2 double crochet into this chain 1 space. Here's 1, and here's 2. Chain 1. Going to the next chain 1 space from the prior row, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, moving to your next chain 1 space. Don't go over here. You're going to work in between these 2 here. Your next chain 1 space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Go to your next chain 1 space and complete 3 double crochet. You're going to do this all the way around for round 5. Just make sure that you work in the chain 1 space between your groupings, and then the chain 1 space you place here in between your double crochet. Make sure you hit every chain 1 space around, and I'll meet up with you when we're ready to close this round. I'm finishing up my last grouping of 3 for this round. I'm going to chain 1, go to my first double crochet, which is really just this chain 2, slip stitch to the top, and close my round. And here we have our completed round 5. Just a few more rounds to go. Let's move on to round 6. We're going to slip stitch over to our first chain 1 space. So slip stitch into the top of the double crochet and over to the chain 1 space right there. To begin round 6, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. As always, that counts as our first double crochet. We're going to place 2 double crochet in that same space, 1, 2. This counts as our first grouping of 3 double crochet. We're going to chain 1. We're going to work all the way over here in this next chain 1 space. We're going to place 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. So in that chain 1 space, here's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 1. Here's another double crochet and 2. So what we've done is this row we had 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet all the way around. The next row we had groupings of 3. Round 6 is a combination of the 2. We're going to have groupings of 3 with a chain 1 in between, and then our groupings of 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. We're going to alternate those around our round 6 here, always with a chain 1 in between. Our next chain 1 space is going to have 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Our next chain 1 space is going to have 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 1, and 2 double crochet. Always make sure you put a chain in between. We're going to go to our next chain 1 space and we're going to complete 3 double crochet. Then a chain 1, go to our next chain 1 space, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. I'm going to continue working around round 6 and I'll meet up with you at the end when I'm ready to join. I'm finishing up the end of round 6 here. We have our last grouping that's going into our chain 1 space from the prior round. We started with a grouping of 3. Make sure that you're ending this round with the grouping of the 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. If you're not ending with that, then you need to go back and see where you've missed something. We're going to go ahead and go right here to the top of our first double crochet, which is really that chain 2, and we're going to close round 6 with a slip stitch. Now don't worry if this seems to crumple up a little bit. It will lay flat. The more we work it, the more it will take its shape. Let's move on to round 7. For round 7, we're once again going to slip stitch over to this first chain 1 space. So slip stitch into the top of your work and then over into that chain 1 space right there. Round 7 is basically going to be a repeat of round 5. We're going to chain 2. This counts as our first double crochet. And we'll place 2 more double crochet in that chain 1 space, 1 and 2. We're going to chain 1. We're going to our next chain 1 space right here and complete 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and place another grouping of 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and here's 3. Chain 1. You're going to complete this all the way around in every single chain 1 space. Don't forget the one here in between these 2 double crochets. I'm going to continue the rest of the way around and I'll meet up with you when I'm ready to join. I'm finishing up the end of round 7 with my final double crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of our double crochet here where we first started the round. And that's the end of round 7. And yes, our spa cloth is starting to really gain some size. But keep in mind, cotton will shrink, so it's going to shrink up a little bit. It's not going to be quite so big, but it's still a beautiful spa cloth. We're going to go ahead and chain right where we are, and then we're going to single crochet in that first stitch. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch. This is our third double crochet right here. We're going to single crochet into the top of that third double crochet. Then we're going to single crochet into the chain one space. We're going to continue that all the way around for round 8, placing a single crochet in the top of each stitch as well as in the chain one space. I'm going to place my single crochets all the way around, and I'll meet up with you when I'm ready to join up. I'm here at the end of row 8, just that last single crochet in the chain one space. Locate my first single crochet, and we're just going to slip stitch to the top of that and close round 8. So what we're going to do for our final round, round 9, is we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. We're going to be working from the back of those single crochet, and we're going to be creating our fan shells. Right here where we joined and we did that first chain, we're just going to place a single crochet, go back into that stitch right here, making sure you get both the front loop and the back loop, and complete a single crochet. Now we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, skip 1, skip 2, and in the next stitch here we're going to place 5 double crochet. Again, making sure you go through both the front loop and the back loop. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to skip the next 2, skip 1, skip 2, and place a single crochet in the third, right there. We're going to repeat what we did over here. We're going to skip 1, skip 2, and place 5 double crochet into the third. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 1, skip 2, single crochet in the third, always making sure you get both the front loop and the back loop. And here you can see we're starting these pretty little shell scalloped edges along our face cloth here. Continue this all the way around, making sure that you place 5 double crochet and skip 2 in between each section that you're working on. So 5 double crochet, skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the third. Skip 2 stitches, 5 double crochet in the third. Work that around, and I'll meet up with you right here when we're ready to join our final round. We're here to the end of round 9, just one more double crochet to place in that final shell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go over here to this single crochet. We're just going to slip stitch into the top of that stitch there, and round 9 is done. And our facial cloth is done. We're going to go ahead and chain 2. This is how I like to finish off. I like to recommend this all the time because you don't have to worry about your work coming undone when you do it this way. Cut your yarn, leaving yourself a nice long tail to sew in. Pull your yarn through. And I like to just pinch the very top of that second chain between my thumb and my finger and give this a really nice firm tug. This will cinch a knot right up against your work that will not come undone. Now all we have to do is sew in our ends and make our rows. what mom wouldn't enjoy receiving this? She can use it as we've intended, as a beautiful spa facial cloth. She can use it as a doily. She can set a teapot on it or a potted plant. But we're going to turn this into a rose, and here's how. You want the right side of these shells facing up, which means all of these prior rows, you're on the wrong side. So you want wrong side facing up, the shells that you just completed facing up. And you're going to take your face cloth and you're going to fold it in half, like so. Starting at one end, just roll your work into a round. And when you pick it up, it's a cone shape. And when you pick it up, you can see that you've now formed your rose. Take the length of tulle that you have and just lay it flat on a surface. Take your flower that you've rolled up into your rose and place it onto your tulle and tie a knot around your rose. This is going to cinch everything together. It's going to hold your rose together. We'll start with just a simple knot. Just like that. And then take the ends and tie it into a bow. This will make the leaves of your rose. And it might take you a couple times to get the ends where you need them. This end's too long, this end's a little short, but it's okay. We've still got our bow formed here. Fluff it out a little bit, and now you have a rose with 2 leaves. See here? Once you have your rose together, now you can take the time to kind of tug at it, pull at it, shape it any way that you like. The more you undo the center and kind of fold the ends over, the more your rose is going to start taking shape. Isn't that pretty? Now get yourself a really pretty cup. I got my cup, as I stated earlier, at a thrift store, and you can place your rose in the cup. Now, if you have extra tulle, tuck it down at the bottom. Push that tulle down just a little bit and force those leaves up. And look at this lovely rose that you have in a pretty little teacup. And that's it. There's your Mother's Day gift. She can leave it in the cup. She can take it out and use it as a doily. She can use it as a face cloth. And then she also has a lovely cup to have tea. Well, that's it from the craft room today. Thank you so much for joining me. Until I see you next time here on the farm, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a blessed day. And for those moms out there, happy Mother's Day.